Lesson 33, page 38. Previous lesson we talked about χρονική αγωγή, which goes fast and slow, normal, very slow, and very fast. And one example of very fast reading on a tone is the epistle or the apostolos. Let's take a look closer at what our textbook says about apostolos. The very fast tempo is special, and we're talking about this very fast tempo here. It's used when we want to chant something so fast it basically sounds like reading on a note, like the note the. The. So if I wanted to say something to you or read something, I could read it on note the. An example of such a fast reading is the epistle or apostolos to apostolou, the apostolos of the apostolos. And by the way, the word epistle, it's a little bit misleading. It does not mean the apostolos. Epistle means epistoli, which actually means letter. And because the uh, epistles, they are letters from Paul to someone else. In English, we call them letters, epistoles, which kind of like sounds like apostolos, which is apostle, not epistle, but apostle, if you want to say apostolos. But in English, we say epistle, which we read every Sunday. The epistle and the gospel are chanted, read always the same way in melodic declamation or recitation. Melodic declamation or melodic recitation. The phrase in Greek is emelis apangelia. Melos means basically melody. Emelis means with melody, and apangelia means recitation or declamation. The designated child, student, reads the epistle on the, but on the scale shown on the next page. Let's go take a look. What kind of scale is that? Okay, the symbol next to the, this one here, on the scale is called gliton, and basically means that ga and vu will be higher as the two diesis, sharps, indicate. Let's explain what that means. Di ga vu pa ni, ordinarily. Ni pa vu ga di, ordinarily. If you see this symbol, which is phthora, on any character, it means that ga is not going to be at its natural location anymore, and vu is not going to be at its natural location anymore, but both ga and vu are going to be diesis or sharp, as you see that sharp pushing that ga and that vu up closer to the. In other words, you would say the ga vu ga di, and this is the effect of the glidon. So basically, it's a new scale, and it's a scale that we always chant the epistle or the apostolos in the scale of glidon. So it's just the height of our voice. So in this case, I say the. But if you want to descend diatonically, the normal way, like in plagal or fourth way, you would say the gavu pani pavugadi. If you see this glidon, you change the intervals to di ga vu pa vu ga di ga vu pa ni pa vu ga di ga vu ga di. So you need to have this acousma, this prototype in your ears. Na, 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 na. Okay, and that is Glon. We call this thing Glon. And if you want to see the scale, this is a scale from Chrysanthos. Okay. This is the actual epistle for Christmas. This is the actual epistle for Christmas. And if you go on our website, you're going to find this book. It's called the Apostolos. It was published in Venice or Venezia or Venedia in 1861. But even though it was published by a publisher in Venice, it was patriarchiki adia, meaning with the license of the ecumenical patriarchate, so we know we can trust it. If you open this book, it's going to look like that. Okay, pages look like that, and this particular epistle is this one. Okay, and how do you know this is for Christmas? Because if you go to the previous page up here, you see December 25th, excuse me. Okay, and you know that this is the epistle for Christmas. Now, how do you know which epistle to read every Sunday? Our ecumenical patriarchate publishes this piece of paper. Actually, I found it electronically, and you can just print it. It's called the Canonion, and the Canonion is telling you the canonas or the rules on what we chant every Sunday. So if you take a look at November 1st, which happens to be the next Sunday, they say ton Aion Anargyron. Ton Aion Anargyron, it's οι Άγιοι Ανάργυροι, Κοσμάς και Δαμιανός are saints. And every time you see something like that, it means that you go on November 1st and you find that day that that particular saint is celebrated, and you can say Mnimi ton Aion Anargyron Κοσμά και Δαμιανού, and then you read that epistle. Okay, epistles usually start with the word adelphi, but before the word adelphi, you're going to say the progymenon. Okay, so remember, we are on the, but we are using Glidon. Oh, before you do that, you should have this book. It's very inexpensive, or you should borrow this book from your church, and you should take it home and read the apostolos before you attempt to read chanted in church. Πάσα η γη προσκυνησά το σάνσι και ψαλά το σάνσι. Then we have stichos. You don't say stichos. It's just letting you know that the first phrase is the progymenon. The second phrase is the stichos. And you actually say αλλάξατε το Κυρίο πάσα η γη. And then προς Γαλάτας επιστολής Παύλου το ανάγνωσμα. When you say the progymenon, the priest is going to say proschomen. After he says proschomen, you say αλλάξατε το Κύριο πάσα η γη, he's going to say Sophia. And after that you say προς Γαλάτας επιστολής Παύλου το ανάγνωσμα, he's going to say proschomen. And then you start adelphi, and you read the whole thing. When you come to the last sentence, you make a final cadence, τελική κατάληξης. The way we read the stichi or the progymenon, the way we say the word adelphi, and the way we end it is always the same formula. It's always the same way. In between, you stop when you see like a full stop, a period. You make a stop on the. When you see a comma, or when you see any other kind of symbol like this colon, άνω και κάτω τελεία, or sometimes in Greek we have this anotelia, which means like a upper period. All of these cases you stop on vu, but not on the. The you stop usually when you see the period. Okay, so those are the rough rules for reading the epistle. um, let's do it once, and next time we're going to chant it using music like that. Okay, but this time we're going to do it without the music, just for you to get a feel. Πάσα η γη προσκύνησα το σάνσι και ψαλά το σάνσι. Priest. Πρόσχομεν, αλλάξατε το Κύριο πάσα η γη. Priest. Sophia, Sophia, you say. Προς Γαλάτας επιστολής Παύλου το ανάγνωσμα. The priest. Πρόσχομεν, αδελφοί. And that's how you always say αδελφοί. You never change that. Αδελφοί, ότε ήλθε το πλήρωμα του χρόνου, εξαπέστειλεν ο Θεός τον Υιόν αυτού, γενόμενον εκ γυναικός, γενόμενον υπονόμων, ή να τους υπονόμων εξαγοράσει, ή να την υιοθεσίαν απολάβομεν. You stop on the because you have a period. Ότε δε στέει εξαπέστειλεν ο Θεός το πνεύμα του Υιού αυτού εις τας καρδίας ημών κράζων. Αβά ο πατήρ, ώστε ουκέτι η δούλος αλλιώς. Ιδεϊός και κληρονόμος Θεού δια Ιησού Χριστού. And the way that I said Ιδεϊός and I went down to Pa, Διγα Βου Pa, and then I went up to Ιησού Χριστού and I made this final cadence. That's a melodic formula that you should always remember. No matter what words you see down there, you should fit them into that formula. Na 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 na. Ιδεϊός. Ιδεϊός και κληρονόμος. Forgot the words. Και κληρονόμος Θεού δια Ιησού Χριστού. Και κληρονόμος Θεού δια Ιησού Χριστού. Okay, that's a final cadence. And that's when the priest knows that he can start the gospel. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Next time we're going to read the same apostolos epistle using Byzantine music notation. Thank you. See you next time.